Hey guys, this is just another adventure. I wanted to show you something special. This place is a place I discovered. I've kept it kind of top secret. If you know where it is, you need to help me keep a lid on it. But anyhow, it is delved deep into the side of the mountain here. And we are in a part of Napa County, and this water has eroded down to a layer but it's below all of the serpentine, and I actually found a fossil bed here. Now, you find a lot of fossils in California. So far, mostly what I've discovered has been seashells and such. This actually has well preserved, well, I'll show you. It's got lots of cool stuff in really cool condition, and it's a really far out site because it's a little miniature canyon, and really excited to show it to you. This is a really important shot to understand where you are. On this side, if you look at the contour, it's all sedimentary rock. So if you notice, they're running in layers. So this has been tilted up on its side. There's the pan out view again, the hill for orientation. So it's running like this. So it was sedimentary layers laid down when it was underwater, flat, and then somehow tilted up. And we're looking at all of the ends of the layers. They come all the way down. There's a divider line here. See, all of this is serpentine. It comes up above here. And two totally different, distinct things coming together and colliding, and the water has chosen the fault in between the two. And I'm literally standing here on the edge of it. It's a good ways down there. And these are the layers that you can find, the coral, chunks of coral reef, twigs, branches, all kinds of little animals and sea life that I don't know what they are. And up here it's so eroded, it's like puzzle rock, except for the fossils. So really cool. Let me give you a shot down the canyon here. Once again, this has not been discovered as far as I know. I've talked to other people and hinted around about its location, and they're kind of astounded that I'm finding these fossils out here. And it's just a rare spot where this deep of a chunk of this Pope Valley is exposed like this. So help me keep it unpillaged. Okay, we're gonna climb down in here. Choose the lowest part here. Kind of epic. Mars. So you can see the two layers. This one, it's chunks of soapstone, serpentine, everything in it. I mean, it's got it all. And it comes down and runs into these layers. You see they're at that angle, and it's they're way harder or whatever, so the water's coming behind them and eating its way down the canyon. Let's go look for stuff. This is like a boulder of gray jadeite or something. Literally the side of a car. You see it? This is almost turquoise in here. Pretty cool. That is a... Hope the camera's picking this up. I mean, that's beautiful. Oh, beautiful, beautiful blue jade. That's an entire boulder of it. Wow. Mine. Ka-chunk. Okay, we're getting down here into the sedimentary rock, and you can see it's just in crumbly form. I figure, let me show you the layers. They run up. These are flat lines. There's some better examples here. These are lines running this way. And I figure that the deeper down the older, and the higher up going that way, the newer, since it was tilted, so when it was flat, the top layers were the newest. That is my theory here. So let's go look. There's a better angle of these layers as they run up. Something made big ones and then continued on with more fine stuff, and on and on. Okay, so we're actually getting to the point where we start finding these pieces. And notice how the host rock is all super crumbly, but the actual fossils are not, which is pretty darn cool. I can't identify that. It's I don't know if you can see the little fine lines in there. Looks like maybe some sort of coral. Your guess is going to be as good as mine on a lot of these. Maybe obvious seashells, different parts of seaweed. Here's another one. They are really rock hard, and the features on them are really distinct. Here's a round one coming out. Oh, let me get at this. What were you? You can start to see the organic in it. And the first time I came here and I stumbled on these, I've seen sedimentary rock make node-like forms before. So until I found some really distinct ones, which hopefully I'll be able to show you here today, I definitely have some in my collection at home. But I wasn't convinced that I was finding any fossils because I couldn't identify them. Pile here, but as I went on, I just want to show you, this is kind of the process that I went through, probably what you're going through now. Are you sure those are fossils? But I wanted to show you how many there are, all of which could be identified by somebody who knew what period this was in and what the common shapes were, because if you know how a fossil's made, then minerals and mud have replaced the original host material, or the original organic material. So these have kind of made a positive image of it, where the little dent they leave behind would be the negative image of it, which is good. We have like a cast, but it's hard to see what the original thing was. A lot of these round ones have little nipples on them. Let's look for some twigs, because that's what really alerted me originally the first time. I said, my God, I have a fossil bed. These large pieces actually are also. That's half of something. Wish I was more of a paleontologist. That's where I'm kind of keeping a lid on this, because, well, except for posting it on YouTube. But if you can hike around to the mountains out here, and we are way out, then and look for rocks, because there's slate everywhere, then you deserve to find this. What are they? This is really fun. I just want to show you how many there actually are here. And how easy they are to get out and what good specimens they are. Come on, little guy. Everybody wants to see what you are. Probably a clam. Now you can start to see the organic, right? That was the first clues where I was like, here's just two little eyeballs. What are you? It's a petrified alien. But that's how I knew that I was actually getting onto something, because I started to see the organic shapes in it, as opposed to mineral. Here's another one. Right? Totally different than him. Or it. Are we jellyfish? What are we, people? So now, we move on. Continue to scour the ground. I'm really excited to show this to you guys. I spent a lot of days out here kind of going crazy in the sun. Here's a ditch. Ditches are always good. This material is so soft. I mean, and the fossils are so hard, you know, they're not flaky, so it's really a good spot. This is comparative to some of the larger fossil beds in the world. More well known. A little squiddly. All of these are actually fossils. Chunks. A lot of them I started to identify as actual chunks of coral reef when you see them stuck together. Here's a good example of a more feathery coral that you might even recognize kind of from today. You can see the white in there. It's kind of like the flat, bony looking ones. So, a little goalie full of them. Oh, I see pieces down here. Let's go look. See? What were you, little squiggly wiggly? It's another one of our aliens. These, I believe, are actually even larger pieces of coral. Believe it or not. Okay, this is another real globule kind that I found a bunch of out here. Don't know how well this is going to pick up the detail, but the whole top here is just a bunch of whatever they were. Things get squished and elongated also. Oh, so here's some of the bigger pieces. These also look organic to me. Who knows? Who knows? These are more of the coral sea life looking pieces. Pretty cool though, huh? Basically stripes that you can follow up of the harder material. All of these pieces of something, if you can imagine an underwater coral reef, it's kind of what we're on, which is exciting. It actually makes precipice that you were looking at between the two worlds here. So, something to do with that there. At one point, this was a big old structure underwater with lots of life teeming on it. Some parts of the underwater world can be really barren deserts, and you have to have structure like a reef to get all the different types of, I don't know what the names for the old ones, prehistoric ones were, but maybe we're looking at clams and jellyfish and the little round ends of the different seaweeds and the floats. And okay, so here's a piece of a branch or stem or stalk of seaweed, or it's a little short one. They're what I like to collect the most. And they're really originally what cued me on to the fact that all these little organic shapes that I was looking at truly were from an underwater world. I mean, each piece here needs to be studied because it looks like there was a lot of life and mud. So everything that's left, I mean, is that a fan coral? I don't know. But all these little guys. What were you? What were you? All the way up. Which down here at another section. Here's a good preserved. I'll put it stem up and try and move the shadows around. Delicate shapes of its, of its original little fan. Still there. There's the back of it. Like a little Han Solo version of a plant. Another little chunk of stem or plant. On a lot of them you can still see the bark when you put some mineral oil on them. Or you lick them. Cool. Often when there's one piece there's going to be a whole bunch. See, these are all not just every chunk, but all the little round organic forms. I mean, that looks like a piece of a seashell, some little polyp, some other little polyp. These are not seeds, these are stones. Another 3D version of one of those. One of them ocean plant things. Ooh, big old branch chunk. See, I love these because I had a handful the first time of all these other shapes going, are they fossils? Are they fossils? Because I've found them like this in Montana. But a lot of California ones are just seashells and stuck hard in the rock. So for these to be crumbling out and be such specimens, I was like, yay! There's another chunk, basically a fossilized wood or plant. Gotta love those. It's good to get out to explore, to look for the details. It slows down time, makes the world bigger. Each one of these little side canyons that we drive by could be filled with the most amazing things. Just stop and take the time to look at our world. These are some things. Maybe they're seeds, chunks of seaweed. I still know seaweed that has, that'd be where it was attached, and a little airbag that comes off of it. I almost see a little hole in the tip, or some sort of stuck on a rock seashell. Oh, what's that? Yeah, I like those. They clean up well. I'm telling you, some of the ones at home have bark on them. Either half of that one, whatever it is. Strange thing.
Man, it's perfect when you're flat on the
Looks plant-like to me. Or tube worm-like. The ground is just covered. Never know which one is the most important. Are these teeth? They have like a white look to them. That is a rock, that is not a seed. I mean, it's a fossil to be correct. So that's why I had to drag you out here with me. Because no one else will come. Because it's a long, hot ways out. You get kind of scratched up. But in spots where the water has dug down through the mountains, there is sedimentary rock from before the lava spewed all the serpentine out. And, what are you? Nothing. Cool weather rocks out here. If you can get down to it, pretty rich around here. Little serendipitous find here. Little caverns of crystals in this rock. Got some quartz going on. Is there gold in it? Is there gold in it? A lot of crystals. I think the gold, as Huel would say, is in the dinosaurs. We are that deep down under a mountain. Down, 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 down. And there's ancient twigs here from the bottom of the ocean. Let me drop them to show you how strong they are. What were you, strange little thing? 1,000, a million years into the future here as I walk up the layers, who knows? And where's all them darn shark teeth? Somewhere in there. Just have to keep digging around, I suppose. you? Strange little thing. Broken. Flat piece of a coral stack. This is why life is wonderful. Is because we're rich with the abundance of things to be fascinated by. I mean, everywhere I go in this world, no matter how far out, there's just the coolest things. Look, it's the sight of a whale. And I think as long as we can keep our eyes open to the beauty that surrounds us, and keep learning and keep exploring, then we're going to be okay. Yep, that is an acorn. That is not an acorn. That is a whirly top. Visages it. You can tell by the original vein attachments where it went onto the main stalk. If you don't know what a visages it is, then you can take my course. Okay. Oh. Ah, my favorites. Look at that. You see the texture of the plant almost. Is there the rest of the plant down there? That'd be fun to find the whole tree. That one you can actually see the branches. That's cleaned off. You see where other things would have attached. So yeah, I like those. Another whirly gidget. This one's a short, fat, plump whirly gidget. Full slope full of whirly gidgets. So sometimes when you know so many of these spots, you start to feel like you just need to share it. So that's what I'm trying to do. And I really appreciate you guys watching and coming along with me. You guys are my main witnesses to my discoveries. Climb down here by the murky pool. The murky pool. I think it's a mini whirly gidget. That's a host rock. Oh, it's one of our aliens. What were you? I'm just gonna have to get reassembled. Luckily they're Besides their fractures, they are pretty strong. But it was tucked in next to another one here. And by side. Any more pieces? I do not see them. Yeah, so those would be cool. They look like they have rounded ends, and they were doubles of something. I like to take all this home and spread it out and get closer looks at it. Oh. See, we're in some sort of like where a branch fell. This one, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, has its bark pattern on it. It's really cool. Just on that one side. But yeah, we'll see what we can get out of here, and sometimes the pieces are laying a little ways away. There's one right there. So some sort of layer where there was a lot of plants right here by the water, or a spot where plants washed up, or a spot where plants were growing under the water. And by plants I mean anything from seaweed to shore plants to stuff that a river washed out from way inland. So lots of possibilities. But lots of twigs, it looks like. They're probably my favorite. Have I said that yet? Some have their little side branches still on them. I found a lot of sponges and such. This looks like one of those types of creatures. You can see the texture is actually little calcium bone pieces sticking out. A little globule. There's more there next to it. So that can kind of date the site because it's at a period where we have all these different types of life. There's a lot of varying types. A lot of varied species at this point. Little one. Thank you guys for sharing this with me. Okay. Sorry, can you see it? Can you see it? There's two of them there. One laying on its side and one sticking straight out. How far down does it go? Ooh, that's a really big one. Let's take this one first. And the one sitting next to it that I didn't see. And then this one. It's about as long as my finger so far. It's got one break in it. Let's go ahead and take the top. Next piece. And it went down more. That was the exciting part. Let's go ahead and do our first heavy excavations. I've never dug here. I figure with the amount of water that comes over here, we can just, until we see the T-Rex sticking out of the side, we can just take what's getting loose. This is a whole branch. That's what we're digging for. Exciting. That's crazy. Gonna need lots of glue. Once I've established where the plant layer is each time, I'm realizing I can just walk up and down that layer. So it's pretty consistent. This is the only little spot where all this is exposed. The rest of it dives back under the mountains. Probably just the gold miners and stuff around here have hit this layer. But where it is exposed, it seems pretty consistent. Pretty cool little secret swimming hole, except for it's kind of deep. Kind of got that life of Pi, like pretty cool though, little windows where you can look down on all of the fishies. Hi little fishies, there's a lot trapped in this little pool here. If you could eat the seaweed and the fish, here's the main site. Pretty cool, huh? Go ahead and climb around here. Ooh, keep looking, there's so many layers. Okay, and there's serendipity treasure here. Oh, it's a hammerhead, a ball peen hammer, and somebody has welded or ground. What's it say? JDCD 9 D. Cool. Strange. It's out here too. Pitted away. Except for that. Set that here. And I've been climbing down the canyon, and the next weird thing that I'm finding is that I've gone a good ways down here, and I'm not finding any more fossils. So I guess that little area must be the main location, the main clustering for some reason. Okay. I think what's likely to have happened is that this canyon is so skinny and meanders back and forth for a few miles that all of these gray rock layers that are at a slant, there's probably, we were finding them in a couple million year period of material laid down, and it was running at a straight line that somehow is now buried underneath this mountain or buried underneath this mountain. And these layers apparently are barren of life, just silt that was too deep, too far out, or for some reason didn't capture and mineralize and fossilize its life. So, thank you for coming out here today with me. I will show you some footage later when I get back and clean this stuff up of what we found and what it looks like, and show you some more of the collection. And hope that you get out there and explore your world. Keep it moving, keep your minds questioning. keep discovering stuff, because we're only scratching the surface, and everybody who's going to discover most of it is alive now and yet to be born. We've only just begun. And yeah, it's a whole big wild world out here, full of treasure. Hope to see you out here. Thanks for watching. So we are back here at the main laboratories of the Quest for Details, and just want to make a quick follow-up video for the fossil hunt today. This is my collection of previously found branches and twigs, and you know, this is a great example of what I was talking about. You can actually see the bark on that from when it was alive. It's just pretty cool. I was calling a lot of this coral chunks and coral reef. So I have, these are modern, current, whatever you want to call them, washed up from Oahu pieces of coral reef. You can see their break off points, and they're way more sharper. If you've ever seen living coral, it looks different. But it kind of helps you to start to identify these other broken off pieces as what they are. So chunks of coral. I got to live on the islands for a little while, so got real used to the shapes, and it becomes pretty recognizable what you're looking at. So you can tell that there was a reef there. The other cool things, let me give you an overall shot of the branch collection. It's my favorite. Lots of different shaped debris. I included some beach shots from a beach trip the other day in this video to show that some of these could just be seeds from the area. You know, they don't have to actually be underwater creatures. Looks like fan sponges to me, types of things. So I got a couple more buckets full, but these are, was there tentacles that hung down from that? Was that a creature? Don't know. But got a bunch of our aliens and such gathered up. Give you a quick overview. So once again, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you feel like it, so that you can get the next video when it comes out. And if you want any more video on fossil hunting here, just hit me up in the comments and let me know you want more. Until next time, we'll see you out there.